All right. Hopefully we are live, and this will be part 4 of me attempting to continue building out this Slack archive project on top of Django and SaaS Pegasus. Where we left off last time, I had been working on this upload zip functionality where you could open this thing and do the upload and it would run in the background. And I had just kind of gotten this HTMX workflow working where it does the upload, hands it to a background task, and then sort of renders the page here. And so what I'm going to try to do now is where I left off yesterday, which is to turn this into like a progress bar that shows you the status of your upload and creating the models in the background and how that's going. So I'm going to try to tackle this in 2 parts. First, I'm going to try to do the front end and just get a progress bar kind of working. And then I will hook it up to the back end. Hopefully that second part will be pretty quick. Let's see how it goes. So hopefully I also kind of increased the font size with my IDE. Hopefully this doesn't trip me up too much. This is the first time I'm using presentation mode. Where we were, so we had this task that was importing, that we had copied from the Pegasus examples. And so I'm gonna keep using this task without doing this import from zip thing. I'm gonna sleep a bit longer, maybe half a second. So this whole task should take 5 seconds. Hopefully that will be enough time to kind of provide a UI for doing this. Celery doesn't auto restart. There might be a way to get it to auto restart. I have never looked closely into figuring that out. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of redo this upload and make sure that the Celery task is running and is kind of doing it slowly, which it looks like it is. So that's good. So I'm going to kind of use this HTMX progress bar demo as my guide. And I think basically what it should do is it should, so right now I'm returning from the view, I'm just returning, where is it? I'm just returning this upload zip.html file, which, oops, that's not the right. Upload zip progress. Yeah, so I'm just returning this your file is uploading thing. And what I instead want to return is something more like this with a div that will reload itself. So I guess the first thing I could try to do is just get the reloading bit working. And so I'm just going to copy that in for now. And I probably want, let's see, I'll probably want a new URL for this, which is just like a job status. So I'm going to go back to my URLs file. I don't know why my IDE always does that. File, let's do like status, and then it's going to need some kind of task ID, which will be the Celery task that is doing that work in the background. I'm just going to double check that I got that syntax right because I am bad at URLs. There aren't any in there. Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. So let's just say upload status. I often, like, if I'm doing a lot of HTMX stuff, I'll kind of like try to apply some kind of naming convention. I think there are also like Django libraries that do this much better for you, like Django HTMX, which I haven't had a chance to play with, and is the type of thing that I probably shouldn't try to teach myself on a live stream. I'm also going to attempt to monitor this chat. Hopefully this is working, but I'm trying to like get a little bit better at this live streaming business, so we'll see. Okay, so the upload status view is the view that we're going to keep polling with our HTMX thing. It's going to take a team slug like everything else, and it's also going to take a task ID, which we'll do like that. And then we're going to want to keep returning this template response. And then maybe just like, just for kicks, we'll just say like, you know, current time zone now. And then in here, we'll say like, you know, rather than doing this business, we'll just say like running, the time is something like that. Just, again, just kind of seeing that all the bits and pieces are connected up correctly. This is what Slack, upload status HTMX, and it'll need a request.team.slug and a task ID. So we'll also need to pass the task ID through here, and we'll need to pass the task ID through here, and all right, so the task ID is, I think, going to be the return of this function. Let me just double check in the Pegasus example progress bar that is how that works. Let's see, where is that? Apps, example, views, task views, results, result.task ID. Okay. So, results. So hopefully that works. We'll see. Hey, the chat works. Hi, Yuri, or Juri. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Okay. Let's see if this works. The time is empty. But is the time going to continue to be empty? It looks like it is. Okay, what did I do wrong? Well, first time is not here because I didn't pass it. And actually, you know, like, probably what I should do is I should also get this task ID. Task ID is, and this will just like let me use that URL directly. Okay, yeah, so that first one works. I'm going to try just loading this URL. Oh no, this URL is not going to work directly because it's not wrapped in, it doesn't have the HTMX libraries. Okay, so what did it do? It did try to get a get, and it wasn't allowed to get a get because I probably have a require post decorator somewhere. Yes, I do. Okay, this we can actually require get if you want. I don't really use require get. It just seems kind of, it's like everything's usually a get, so it doesn't seem to be that useful. But might as well throw it on since we're not expecting a post. Okay, well, it looks like it's working. It's making all these requests. I should have displayed the time with more granularity than minutes. Time zone dot now dot, what is it, milliseconds? Dot microsecond? Okay. Let's try that. So this will like fail for a little while my server's restarting, and then probably won't restart itself. Let's do it again. Yay, cool. Okay, so we have our polling thing. It's working as we want. And now we just need to actually extract sort of like a status from that task. And I'm going to go back again to the Pegasus examples, which actually are not in here. They're in Celery progress views. Yeah. So we want this. Oops. Yeah. Okay. And then let's just like print whatever's in that. We'll figure out what we want to get out of there. Okay. The fact that I like have to do this whole upload 3-step thing just to see this every time is kind of frustrating, but okay. So we can see what this thing was printing out. So it's got a current and a total and a percent. The percent is probably what I want to use. So let's just, I mean, we can just kind of, probably pass that whole progress. Well, I don't know, progress. Yeah, let's just pass the whole object in to this, and that's this. And then like in here, so we'll say, I'll leave the debug stuff in for now. I don't know why I'm using H3s. It's P's. Okay. Let's just stick progress in there for now. Probably like don't need to. Dang, that's not very serializer friendly. Okay, but we saw what it had. It had a percent is probably the thing that we care about, since that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go back to the Pegasus example actually, and these tasks views, and I'm gonna look at, let's see, this tasks thing. Try to find the progress bar. Div. I'm actually not gonna, well, I'll use the wrappers and stuff. Let's see. Class equals progress. So I think the way that, so I've previously been doing this in JavaScript. Somewhere in here, but I think the way that it works, I'm just gonna search this for width. Yeah, so the progress bar element sets the style of the width to be a certain percentage. My guess is that's this thing a thing. And so maybe if we just do style equals width, and then let's see, prog. Oh, I'm definitely in the wrong place. Okay, wait a minute. Progress dot, what was it? Percent. Something like that, maybe. And then progress bar message. Let's see, is there anything in here about a message? Oh, let's just say uploading, processing, imports, and type. Sure. Okay. So that's not working. Is there a way to like, maybe I'll just stop running JavaScript for a sec. How do I do that? Tell me how to do that now. Console. So, I mean, I want to inspect this thing, but it's going to keep changing out from under me. Which is, maybe I'll just watch it. No, it's just impossible. Well, let's just load delay. Let's make it 6 seconds. Give us enough time to take a look at this thing. No, it didn't. Let's make it 60 seconds. Okay, so where did that go? Progress bar. Style width. Okay, so width percent is not right. Bring that back down for a sec. So progress.currents does not seem to be there because it's nested inside a thing called progress. So this is actually should be something like progress.percent, I think. I'm not going to wait a minute for that. Nope. Okay, let's print progress and progress.progress, progress.progress.percent. Figure out why those aren't working. Am I editing the wrong file? What's going on here? There's a task ID. Okay. Celery progress.backend.progress object. So this progress object has get info. Maybe that's what I need. I think maybe the representation is misleading. Oh, wait, but I'm calling it info. Okay. Fine. Use a debugger. Okay. Everything is harder than you expect. So, you know what it is? I think it's that. I think it's that I didn't pass that in. All right, let's try this again. I think I was passing the progress object instead of the progress info. Yay! There we go. Cool. And so it looks like we also have like a state success and complete true. So like we can say like, you know, let's say if progress dot complete not progress.complete, I suppose. Else. Well done. Let's see if it finishes. Yay. Oh, and it's once it's finished, it's continued to pull here, which means that we should only pull probably let's just only apply these HTMX thingies if the progress is not complete. I don't know how the heck you're supposed to format something like this, but HTML shouldn't mind. So hopefully it finishes and then these times stop moving and our network's requests stop going. Cool. Alrighty. So front end is, I mean, you know, it can do some work, but it's relatively done. I'll leave the debug stuff in there just until I get it all connected to the back end too, in case I want to see that. Right, so back to the tasks now. And so now, instead of doing this fake thing, we want to do the real thing. We want to do this imports. So the import currently takes a zip and a team and does a bunch of stuff. We're going to have to kind of like pass our progress recorder in through here in order to report the usage back. This is kind of like an observer pattern, I think, where the progress recorder is passed in so that it can observe what's going on inside this function. Don't take my word for that. It's been a long time since I've studied my design patterns, but this should be like a progress recorder. It's optional. Is that right? Something like that, maybe. Equals none. And so, yeah. So the way the I have to double check, remind myself. So we deleted that already. So the way this works, yeah, you just do like a set progress, and you give it, looks like a current and a total and an optional description. This is going to be a little bit of a fuzzy effort. It's going to be like one of those progress bars that just erratically fills up with like unpredictable speed. But let's see. So we're importing the users, which I imagine would be quick. Let's say that importing all the users is like one channel, and then, or let's say importing the users is 10% of the work. So like, I think it would do something like progress recorder dot set progress 10 100. So you're kind of saying like, okay, we did 10% of the work there. If one of the problems here, and it's like classic reporting progress problem, is like we don't actually know how many channels there are until we open the file. We don't actually know how many messages are in each channel until we get in there. So we'll do some kind of best effort stuff, but we'll say, well, let's say importing the users, actually let's just call it 5%. We'll call importing the channels 10%. And then we'll call importing the messages 100% is down here somewhere, I guess. And so we've got like 90% to work with in where we're doing the actual work of importing all these messages. And let's see, so like basically we want to know how many channels there are. So I think that this channel's value there is right. Let's see, import channels, yeah, so that'll return a list. So, I don't know, so number of channels equals what? 1 channels. And then down here we can say set progress 10 plus I don't even know like how to get a count in here. I guess it's like current channel equals 1. 10 plus current channel divided by number of channels times 90. More parentheses. Yeah. Let's define a variable. Channel progress. Actually, whatever. Let's just see if that works. And I'm going to, I think maybe temporarily change this to a console progress recorder. Which it'll just print out all the instances where I am setting the progress. So I'm not gonna, now I'm not gonna worry about the UI for a second. Now I wanna see if the thing is actually just kind of printing out what I expect it to do. Missing one required. That's true. Where did that go? Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. So didn't seem to print out anything. That's strange. Let's try in the task. Let's find out what type of thingy that is. And, oh, yeah, let's see. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm tempted to just I'm just getting sick of having to do this post thing. So what do I'm passing the file path, so I'm just gonna print out one of these file paths. I realize I'm using the print out functionality a lot. Such is life. What did I do? Slow. Message retracted. So that's the file path. So it's still a progress reporter, not a console progress reporter. That's the problem. I edited the wrong file. Okay. But yeah, what was I going to do? I was going to also grab this file path, and rather than having to do this post nonsense every time, I'm just going to, oops, file path. Just fire off the task within the get version. Did that work? Yeah. No. Did not work. Import zip file task. Oh, because this is not the right view. Console progress recorder takes no arguments. Fine. Okay. That kinda worked. So it processed the Slack does only have 2 channels, so maybe it's time to try testing with a bigger file. But that sort of looks like it worked. Oops. Where was that? That was here. Okay, I'll use my real import. Let's see. This should be much more. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's quasi-working, but I think I forgot to update the current channel. Channel. It's printing out way too much also. And we have a problem with the Slack bot. Okay. I'm gonna bail on this. We're close enough. And I can figure that out offline. So let's bring it back to the UI. It's here. I think the other thing we can play with is the description. So description equals uploaded, what's this? Imported channel list. Imported user list. And this will be like imported messages. And I'm just going to add some sleeping here just so we can kind of test this out. Sleep for 2 seconds here. 2 seconds or? Yeah, let's sleep for 2 seconds there, and let's sleep for 2 seconds there. Okay. And then the in this progress thing, is the description somewhere? Progress, total. Let's see what is in this, how I can reference that description. In here, let's look at what get info returns. Description. Okay, so it goes into that progress area as well, which means that instead of, let's see, progress.progress description, something like that. Oh, I need to restart Celery also. Small one. Cool. So that looked like it mostly worked. Let's see. I don't think we need any of this stuff anymore. I'll do that one more time just to make sure it looks okay. Okay, so again, this obviously doesn't look great, but it is mostly working, all connected to the backend. That was a little bit more of a mission than I expected. I'll I will just save my work here. So like, oh, this is the wrong file. Let's see. Make these imports a little. Add that. Definitely don't want to commit that stuff. Okay. Probably don't want to commit the sleeps either. Ugh. Whatever. You get the idea. I'm gonna commit this up and then I will probably figure out how to make the actual progress bit a bit smoother offline. But anyway, this was fun. And yeah, until next time, thanks for coming on this journey with me.